My name's Ed D'Souza and my project's called Migrant Car. This project originally was produced in India at the Kochi Biennale in 2014, and it was called End of Empire. It was a version there called End of Empire. The project's been rethought for the city of Oslo in terms of the public space and the locality, and it's become Migrant Car. It's all about locality, about community, participation and encounters. And the way we've worked with the city and participants here is to really ground this project in the locality. So the production of the sculpture and the car has been working for nearly 2 months now with local craftspeople building the car in a very public way. So a local community of people and producers are making this work. So the project's probably kind of, in a way, split into 2 sections. The first section is about production, and that's been very much about working in a very participatory way, a collaborative way with the producers. So there's been a series of discussions and dialogues about art production and the making of the car. And that really has been a co-production. Decisions have been made, they're not just enforced by me. And my collaborators have changed the nature of the car. They've localized it, they've taken their own ideas and they've applied it to this project. So in a way, the first section is the production that becomes a kind of public spectacle. And from there it moves on to this journey through the city. And this is one area where I gave kind of strict instructions for this project. So when I found out there was a car-free zone in the city, the idea of the restrictions and the geography and the kind of permissions that were needed and restrictions for this project, to work within that became a kind of structural side and a kind of critical side that this project could operate within. So working with the students, the idea is to develop encounters and participations along the routes, a kind of idea of using the car as a kind of catalyst to re-curate the city. You know, as it moves around, there might be multiple encounters with this object, and that this might elicit participations, questions, but also the kinds of performative moments and gestures that might come from the students in terms of using the material of the city and the ideas, in particular about migrant existence and migrant histories and narratives within the city. So each time this project's developed, the key thing is to kind of make sense of it in terms of locality. So each time the title has to reflect that. So Migrant Car isn't just a way of describing the fact that this is a migrating object that's come from Kochi as an art project to Oslo. It's also a kind of provocation within the city, and it taps into kind of local political dialogues and an understanding about the kinds of restrictions and movements that might occur. Putting it within the car-free zone in a way accentuates this idea about the kind of structures and limitations that might be on people and the free movement of people. So one of the important sites one of the first sites that the car will move to is the Cathedral, and in a way it's engaging with a kind of a local, like more contemporary history of the city. So it's connecting with the idea that, you know, this is a cathedral which is a place of pilgrimage and a place where people have commemorated the massacre by Anders Breivik in Oslo and beyond. And there'll be a service that will talk about and in a way discuss what hosting to migrants within the city and about the idea of welcoming and of generosity and of being a host. And this is a kind of important sort of connection. But then at the same time, the car will carry on and travel and join the Gay Pride Parade. So in a way, it will have touch points of the city. And in a way, all of these talk about narratives about belonging or identity that fit in with this, you know, the subject of the migrants. For me, it's really exciting the way of thinking about opening up the city and, in a way, curating the city through the artworks. What's been really exciting is in a way, developing this project for the city has changed the nature of the object. And just by this object moving has suddenly given it a lifespan beyond any initial idea about Oslo Biennale.